What the f is going on with this card? Here we go again. What up everyone, Alex Anthony and Zoe here. I've been looking at a lot of alternate arts lately, and I usually start with the VMAXs when I'm looking at alternate arts, and I noticed that a couple of them are getting a little bit ridiculous. So let's hop into Fusion Strike and look at some of these cards real quick. Let's just, start with the big one. What's going on with this Gengar here? We have a massive price increase. So over the last, just 3 months, it's gone from a $103 card to it says here $137, but really it's more like a $150 card because you can't really find it for less than $150. There's one here that just popped up today for $146. Good price, but compared to the $150, but it was just about a $100 card, and it was in the 90s, high 80s for months before that. So I think from what I've tried to gather, Fusion Strike is like an older set now, if you want to call it that. It came out in November, and I don't know about you folks, but I don't really see a lot of people opening Fusion Strike anymore. It's more like, you'll buy like a tin or a box or something, and it may have a pack of Fusion Strike in it. But when's the last time you saw someone like go out of their way to buy and open a booster box of Fusion Strike? For me, it's been, since it hasn't really happened even in this year, 2022, since maybe in January, way back when. But even then, once the pull rates kind of came out on Fusion Strike, no trainer gallery, nothing like that, I think people got off opening it pretty quickly. And at that time, the Gengar and everything was only about $100, no, $90. So like the chase cards weren't really even worth it. But now, getting a little crazy. And it makes sense, I guess, in, less product is being opened. There is a fan favorite here in Gengar. A lot of people love Gengar, the whole Ghost Evolutionary line, the first one. And something else that I noticed too, what I was counting, is at the time of this recording, I'm not going to count it again, but there was 11 near mint copies up here. So let's just say, give or take, there's gonna be about 11 at the moment, and that's just not a lot of copies. So if you were to buy, say someone had like a couple grand hanging around and they wanted to invest it in some Gengar, you could easily buy every near mint Gengar up here and then just set the price to like $250, $275, and then if you have a significant portion of a card on the market, I mean, not significant portion, but if you have like a nice little chunk, then you can easily make a play like that. So this card right here is, I would say, ripe for exploitation. This is right around where the Umbreon VMAX alternate art was when that, in supply, I should say, right before that skyrocketed in price. And I think the supply and the demand is what creates the FOMO, and that's what makes the price just skyrocket on some of these cards. And it's not all of Fusion Strike, it's really just these two cards. It's Gengar and Espeon VMAX. I think a lot of people, myself included, at times even forget that Espeon is in Fusion Strike. Evolution, alternate art, it just feels like an Evolving Skies card, especially because the Espeon V alternate art is in Evolving Skies. But because they knew Espeon was the best evolution, they knew it could carry Fusion Strike on its own, no problem, along with a couple of the other heavy hitters. So with Gengar and Espeon being the top 1 and 2, that makes sense to me. I would say this one hasn't gone up that much. It's gone up from about 100 or so to about the 130 range, and this 130 price is more accurate. You can even get a few for like 120, right here, right under 130. So that price is a little more accurate. But that Gengar is far less in supply, and even if you scroll down here, you can see I haven't counted these yet, but I'm looking, if I had to guesstimate, probably about 20, maybe 25 that are in near mint. So just a higher supply at the moment. And then just to quickly scroll through the rest of Fusion Strike alt arts, the Inteleon suffering, Genesect up and down, Celebi, it's up there. It used to be higher back in its like hype days. I remember like $35 card, so it's kind of getting back up there, but still pretty low. Mew VMAX is dropping down in popularity in terms of playability. Actually, that may not be true based on these past results of played decks from the Baltimore regionals, but it's not where it was. And it has gone up and down and up, and it is like a little bit higher than at its low point, but it's not where it was at its high point. So that's why I think the price of this card has been, maybe declining, especially because there's been a lot of counters to come out for Mew just in darkness cards, Drapion, Giratina being a really powerful deck. So a lot of things like Palkia that just naturally forced this card to be less valuable. But I am surprised that less playable. I am surprised at the value of the card drop, because I would have figured that Mew would be a fan favorite Pokemon just like Gengar and Espeon, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I like Mew a little bit more than some other people. The alt art is kind of like, you know, holding, which is fine, and the VMAX alt art is like kind of holding as well. I'm not sure about this VMAX alt art in terms of why it wasn't more expensive. I personally never loved it. I thought it was always like, I don't want to say a lazy alt art, but it just was a little too busy. It didn't really depict anything. It didn't really look super cool. And to me, it looked very similar to the V Max. Like, if you just compare these two cards, like, they just don't look different enough for me to like justify this being the alt art. It's like, okay, so you have a more pink Mew, and you have like some busier kind of stuff going on. Honestly, and this is gonna sound weird, I think I even like Mew VMAX base regular more than the alt art, and I think that Mew VMAX is probably like the best looking straight up just regular VMAX, because the VMAX background almost looks like a Mew alt art. It looks like it's in a different dimension. So plus I think it's weird when they give the Pokemon like a weird angle and only one eye. Like, I don't like this angle. Like, I like the smile, that's cool, but the one eye is just so weird, and like the angle and the big foot and everything, I like this much more. I think that the base Mew VMAX is way cooler. So to me, that's the only thing that I could figure out as to why this card was always so cheap, you know, compared to some other alt arts. But yes, that is the bulk of this video today. Keep your eye out on your favorite alternate art, because you never know when it's going to spike in price. That's one thing that I've been doing lately. So I actually I got one of these Gengar not too long ago, because I'm like, I don't want to pay $200, $250 for it. So, and I was about to get one for like $100 not too long ago. So get it when you can, not when you have already missed out on a good price. Luckily, I already got the Espeon a while ago, so I lucked out there. If you folks have not yet, please enter free card giveaway 23, currently giving away an entire booster box of Lost Origin, and hop in the Discord as well, giving away an additional 9 booster pack mix for the month of September. And just hop in the Discord too. Awesome people. Love everyone in there. Another video I want to mention real quick, if you haven't seen it yet, check out my new product, maybe, the Hype Pack. I think this is a really cool video, and it got some positive reception, which made me extremely happy. But please check out the Hype Pack. That was something that I put a decent bit of thought into, and it's something that I'm going to be going forward with and definitely making a product out of in the future. So get your first look at the Hype Pack. For additional Pokemon content, consider checking out my Poke friends down here, KittenCatAubrey and KittenCatAubreySales on TCGPlayer, Pokemon Father and Son, Corp, Arya Quinn Plays, Eric the Epic, Amy on Go, EML Collectibles, and The Real Venusaur. Check out the Lost Venusaur doing a giveaway video. I'm pretty sure it's still up for him, so go check out his channel right now for that. Thank you all so much for watching today. Love you as always, and we'll see you on the next one.